Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and we are kicking off the week with a news bang. Let me tell you, there's actually a bunch of different stuff I have to tell you about in today's video. So the first one, in case you haven't logged on, there is a free pack. That's right, this pack here is entirely free as part of Cyber Monday. So make sure to log on today and grab this, and then you can collect the rewards over 3 days. It's all right, you know, there's some energy, there's silver, there's multi-battles, some brews, and a 4-star chicken. Of course, the big thing is, hey, it's a free legendary book, which obviously for, you know, a free-to-play player, an early game player, they are super, super rare. So that is one of the best rewards that you can get, and it's all free. So there you go. You can go in and grab that, which is really cool. On top of that, we have so much news. So, okay, first of all, let's talk about the shop stuff, since you're just in the shop. There are going to be sales over. In fact, this started yesterday, so we might have missed some of this, but there's going to be sales for all of these different skins, the paid for skins in the game. And then there's also going to be fragments for a bunch of the fusions as well. So I think it works out at about €1 per fragment. In my opinion, it's a pretty terrible deal. I mean, maybe you could spend up to €10 or something if you really wanted to get one of these. I would say Operdin is not worth, Nari not worth. Biffled might be worthwhile. He's very good for Hydra, so that could be good. I think Gaius is great. Tomb Drying is great if you're early game, and Uko is the best one, I would say, out of all of these. So yeah, I mean, it's totally up to you. Those fragments aren't going to do anything, and unfortunately, they just don't seem to want to do any in-game fragment events anymore. They did it once, like 2 years ago, maybe a year before that as well, and then they stopped. So that sucks. So yeah, look, it's up to you. It's pretty, the fragments are ridiculously expensive, but you know, €10 for a mighty Uko is actually, if you're a spender, that's a real good deal, right? Okay, we've got new triplet packs in here as well today. So these ones are giving you shards and potentially books. I'd say this triplet pack 3 looks to be pretty darn solid if you compare it to a monthly pack. You're getting one more void, one more ancient, and you're getting 2 legendary books. Yeah, so slightly better. I mean, the monthly pack, it's not that much better than the monthly pack, though. I don't know if you can go and work it out. I think it is a bit better, but not like you must buy this right now. So that's something to bear in mind. Right, let me see if I can find an example. Here we go. Here's an example of the skin. This is what they're doing with the skins. So it says extra, which it doesn't actually make sense. You know, it's a discount, as it were. This is what I sort of suspected they would do with some of these skins, although I kind of have a feeling this was sold for €15 or $15 when it initially came out. I'm not sure if this is actually on sale. Does anyone remember? I have a feeling that this was not sold for $33 before. So this is, I'm 90% sure this is a straight up lie that it's not discounted from 33. But let me know. These tags in the shop tend to always be like deceptive. Not deceptive. Yes, deceptive, but they tend to be just straight up lies most of the time. So yeah, that's meh. I think, you know, €15 for a skin, that's hitting the more reasonable price range of like, you know, €5 to €15 is something that I'd be more interested in spending on. I'm just not super sold on any of the skins. I kind of like the Madame Sarah skin, but I don't know if I'd go out and buy it. But there you go. There's going to be some of those skins on sale as well. Let me know if you're going to go for them. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Right then, next up, we've got the news that has broken today. Cyber Week activities. This is pretty spicy. So literally right now, we have a 10x for Mortu, Macabre, and Hefrak from Ancients and Sacreds. And then, at the same time, right now, we've got a 10x on a Chrysia from Void Shards. So that is kind of nutty. I would advise not going for the Mortu and the Hefrak. Really, it's outside of any other summoning event. These are good champions. In fact, Mortu is pretty darn great for arena defense, but you definitely don't need him. He's a great champ. Okay, I use my Mortu all the time. I actually have 2 of them built. I do use them quite a bit. They're fantastic, but you don't need them. And same thing with Hefrak. He's a great nuker. But this game has no shortage of great nukers. So yeah, I would advise not going for these and to save your shards. Acrizia, now this is a spicy one. 10x for Voids, Void Legendaries, is significantly better than 10x for Ancient and Sacred Legendaries because there's just fewer Legendaries. Your chance to get her is much higher relative to this one. You still have a 0.5% chance per shard, but if you can hit your Mercy system, I would consider this to be something that's well worth considering. This is well worth considering. If you can hit Mercy easily, like if you're, let's say you are 180 shards into pulling since your last legendary, you can start your Mercy with 20 shards and you can guarantee to get a legendary with another 20. So within 40 shards, if you could guarantee a legendary, I would probably go for this, would be my thoughts, because I think Acrisia is just so broken. Acrisia is just on another level completely for Hydra. She's on another level. Like, she literally makes every other champ in the game look like a rare. She's that powerful for Hydra. So I'd go for her if I could. Now, I'm not near Mercy, so I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to spend my shards. I'm going to keep saving up for another guaranteed with Voids, so that I definitely get something of value. It's just like I'm not going in and pulling 78 shards and getting a bunch of rares, and that's it pretty much. So that's sort of my take on that. I would only ever go for a 10x if you can hit Mercy. But I think Acrisia is one that's absolutely worth it. The other two, not so much. Now, we've got more stuff going on. So on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, guaranteed champion event to summon Elva with 20 sacred shards. So I've already seen people are freaking out everywhere. This is by far the most expensive by far that they've ever done for sacred shards. Typically, nearly every single time, it's been 15 sacred shards for a legendary. Once, really weirdly, they did Sissia Flametongue for 12, which to me makes no sense because she's one of the best ones they've ever done. They put one of the best ones in at 12, which was nuts. Now we have Elva coming in at 20. So, yeah, I don't know. In a way, I actually hope that this guaranteed legendary event goes badly and people don't participate, because then they might go, oh, 20s is just too much. People aren't going to go for it. But I'm worried that that's not the case. I'm really worried that they're going to look at the data from the Sissia for 12, the regulars for 15, and this one for 20. And they're going to go, the same amount of people pulled for each one. We might as well make it 20. LOL. So that's definitely sketchy. And I will put out a warning there as well, that if they're willing to increase the sacred guaranteed from 15 to 20, they could easily do it with the others. So instead of 150 ancient, which is the typical price, you could see it going up to 200 for ancients. With voids, it's typically been around 80. You could again see that pushing over 100. It depends what they want to do with this stuff, but this is a pretty crazy one. I'm really hoping that this is just like a once-off. They figure people have a lot of shards for Black Friday and Cyber Week and all of that nonsense, and they figure they haven't done a guaranteed sacred in ages. So hopefully it's a once-off. That's all I can say. That being said, I think Elva is absolutely insane. I think she's an insane champion. So I can tell you right now, for me, am I going for it? I don't need to buy shards because I've been saving. Like, as you guys know, I save as much as I possibly can. I've 26 sacreds saved up. And by the way, it's really interesting. I didn't know this, but when I did a video talking with Smiley TK, if you are a spender in the game, I really recommend you check out the video I did with Smiley TK and check out his videos. But he was actually saying, which I hadn't known about because I very, very rarely spend, was that sacred shards are actually one of the worst things to buy. They're just overpriced, right? And that you're typically much better off buying ancients and particularly voids, which was interesting to me. So at sacreds, it's really a question of how much you can save from your clan boss, and Doom Tower Hard gives you a few regularly and all the rest. Anyway, to speak about Elva, I think she's extremely good, and there's no question I'm spending 20 of my shards on her. For me, there is absolutely zero question. I don't have a Sifi or a Duchess, right? Those top tier revivers. I think that Elva is on a very similar level. She comes in, she's got the continuous heal on her A1. Nice little bit of healing. She has then a full team cleanse with block debuffs and increased speed for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. This is a great move. So it's similar to Sifi, right? If we come across to Sifi, it's very similar in terms of what they do. Of course, bearing in mind, Sifi's Void. Sifi on 4 turns gives you the block debuffs, 10% turn meter, increased defense, increased speed. So at Sifi, you have 1 more turn on the cooldown, you get 10% turn meter and increased defense instead. And then Sifi has a 4-turn single target revive. Elva's coming in with not only the 3-turn on the cleanse and the buffs, but a 3-turn single target revive as well. Now, again, like I said, the buffs aren't as strong as Sifi. The revive isn't quite as good as Sifi, but it's not really far off. And then she's healing allies at the start of every one of their turns, just like Sifi does. Puts out a perfect veil on the ally at the lowest HP at the end of her turn. Does have a speed aura. I think an insane base stats. I think this champion is brilliant for Arena. I think she's S tier for Arena, and I think she's S tier for Hydra as well. I did a whole showcase of her in Hydra, and I'm going to be pulling her and building her ASAP on my own account. I guess I'll try to rein it in and see if we're going to have like a clan v clan with personal rewards next Tuesday. Not this coming one, but the following one. I might try hold out on booking her until we hear about that. But I just want to book her straight away. She's definitely going into my Nightmare Hydra team, 100% with a speed aura, all this stuff. I think she combos well with Krisk, and lacking the increased defense with a Krisk actually works, and I have a Krisk. That actually makes her quite viable. It means these continuous heals she throws out are less likely to disrupt Krisk's mischief tanking, because he provides himself with increased defense. She's definitely going into arena teams. I'm putting her in Stone Skin. She is a beast. Complete beast. I'm actually going to pair her, I'm pretty sure, with Mighty Uko is my current thinking. I think the two of them in arena team together is just hella nasty. Very difficult to kill. Lots of reviving, cleansing, healing, buff stripping. It's going to be nasty. So there you go. I think she's well worth it. Then the final thing which you have going on right now, Cyber Week activities. There may be more. I don't know, because they did say they've got 3 days of summon boosts. And I'm not sure, because they haven't really talked about that. We've got summon boosts today. We've got summon boosts tomorrow. I guess this one technically carries through, doesn't it? In terms of the timing. Tuesday, it goes through until 9 a.m. on Thursday. So maybe they count that. I'm not sure. Maybe we're going to see 10x events as well on Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know. I guess this one is on Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorry, this is for Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's what they do. Okay, cool. Never mind. Probably no more 10x events then. We also we're going to have a champion training tournament for Durandil or Bad El Khazar. So this one is on right now. It's actually just started, and I wanted to wait for it to start before recording the video so I could show you my thoughts. I actually need my final fragments from Dragon. I'm probably going to blitz that out and then sort of decide. But it's a 4-day champion training tournament. Obviously, this is right at the end of the current epic fusion. I'd expect a legendary fusion starting in roughly 2 weeks. I'd say roughly 2 weeks to the next fusion is my expectation, which would be the Christmas fusion. They might tweak it either which way, though, but that'd be my expectation. Here, as you can see, we've got Bad El is the top reward. So the number one person in your group can get it. And groups are... there's 100 people in a group. So there's only 100 people in a group. I imagine for players with a lower account level, maybe below level 60, I'm not really sure how they're going to work it. You can get Durandil. I'm not sure if anyone knows what level. That would be great to know. But this could be a really intensive tournament, right? These can be really intense and people are just going straight for the win. I think if we look at the champions, Durandil, I don't have him. He's an attack-based nuker. He has an AoE that ignores defense, gives him some turn meter. He's a single target attack that ignores defense and gives him perfect fail. His A1 freezes. He's really squishy. I mean, he's pretty straightforward. He's a force affinity nuker. He's just going to hit really hard. He's like a speed team champion. He's going to go in. He will hit really hard. And that's it. He's a very basic nuker. I think it's nice if you can win him without too much stress, then sure, he might be kind of useful. But this is not a champion that's really going to do anything too crazy. I think it's mostly like, do you need like a speed team nuker and force affinity? If yes, then this guy could be good if you're early game. Obviously, he's going to be outperformed by most legendaries and stuff like that. So not too excited about him, but he might be okay if you can get the win without too much hassle. The interesting one is Mr. Bad El Khazar. That's like an old school champion. This guy was like one of the best champs in the game, a couple of years ago. I think he's still a really good champ, but he's definitely nowhere near as good as he was. Like, they've released plenty of champions that really contend with him. Basically, it's all about this move, really. 3-turn cooldown, full team cleanse, puts out 2 continuous heals on allies, and 2 poisons on all enemies. So I think he's probably most famous for being able to solo Ice Golem and also Dragon in pretty good time. Now, there's champions that can solo it better, like, Theodore. It's really unfair to compare other champions to Theodore, because Theodore is so busted, right? But Theodore does it, like, way better. But I think Bad El is one of the easiest champs to build to solo Ice Golem, and that's a pretty useful thing. So yeah, he's a good, solid champion, like crit rate in all battles. Aura, you do more damage to enemies under poison. He's got the AoE A1 that does a tiny bit of healing, not much, but a bit of healing. Like, I don't know. He's really only used these days. He can be all right for some, probably for Doom Tower bosses, he'd be pretty good as well. He's mostly about Ice Golem and Dragon. So yeah, I think this champ's pretty cool. He's obviously good, but he's not like the best in the game like he used to be at all. Like, the game has moved a long way since he first came out. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Bad L. I don't have him, so I'm definitely considering going for it. The thing that puts me off is that I'm going to be away on holiday for the last 2 days of this. So I don't know if I can. The good news is I think it's worth at least, it could be worth at least going up 8,000 points. And this is champion training. It's harder than it's a tournament, so it's harder than an event. You just get less points for doing the same thing compared to an event. So to actually get 8,000 points in a tournament is pretty rough. That's pretty difficult, but it is a legendary skill tome. So I do think that if you're able to get up there and get it, it's a decent thing to do, right? To get a legendary skill tome and train up some stuff at the same time. But yeah, you can see the fighting here is already a little bit fierce. We got two guys definitely that are going pretty hard, and then we've got a bunch of people that are like, I don't really know. So let me know, what do you think about Bad L? The good news is I suppose a lot of whales are already going to have him, so that's good. But the bad news is that a lot of whales might be looking. There's lots of really good legendaries in Undead. You can see my Faction Guardians for Undead looks really good, by the way. Look at that, beautiful. But for the whales out there, they might be going, ooh, I got another Bad L. I can just fill in my Faction Guardians and then use a different champ to empower. I can empower somebody else, you know? Like, I can come in and I can, ooh, I've got a dupe Rotos. I can empower my Rotos, or I can empower a Sifi or something like that. I guess there's not that many champs in here that you would empower, actually, now I look at it. But still, that's something to be scared of. So yeah. Look, I don't know. I put a big warning, right? We've just had a whole bunch of packs. People, if they bought the Black Friday stuff, especially the energy ones, are going to be able to put up crazy numbers. So be very scared. Like, if somebody came out and they just swiped the credit card and bought all the energy packs, you're going to lose to that person. Unless, I don't know, unless they sleep for 4 days in a straight, you know? There we go. Anyway, guys, look, there we go. It's all the news. I hope you found it interesting. Let me know what you are going to do. And yeah, I guess I'll see you later for probably another video later today when I actually figure out what I'm going to do. And I will definitely 100% see you tomorrow for pulling 20 Sacred Shards for Elva. I'll see you all then. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.